Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something right now. Your past does not define you. Now, I know some of you may be thinking, Denzel, you don't know my story. You don't know the mistakes I've made. Well, let me tell you this. We all have a story. We all have mistakes. But your story is not your prison. It is not your chains. It is simply the beginning, not the end. This intro captures the essence of the speech while setting the tone for what's to come. Your past is not something you can escape. It's a part of you. You can't pretend it didn't happen. But let me tell you this, your past does not define you. It's just one chapter in the book of your life. And the beautiful thing is that you have the power to write the next chapter. I know some of you might be carrying burdens from things you've done, mistakes you've made, or situations that were out of your control. We've all been there. But what I want you to understand is this: the past is a reference, not a residence. It is a place to learn from, not to live in. So often we let our past experiences shape how we see ourselves in the present. We let mistakes, failures, and bad choices become the lens through which we view the world. But you are more than just a collection of your past actions. You are more than the sum of your regrets. You are more than the person who stumbled, the person who lost their way for a while. The truth is, you are who you decide to be today. Every day is a new chance to change, to grow, and to redefine yourself. You get to decide what your story will be moving forward. You're not tied to the person you were yesterday unless you choose to be. Yes, your past may have some tough moments. You may have made decisions you regret, or maybe life handed you circumstances that you wish you could change. We've all had those moments where we look back and think, if only I had done this differently. But here's the thing: you can't change the past. It's done. It's over. What you can change is how you approach your present and your future. What you can change is how you respond to the lessons the past taught you. That's where your power lies. Think about it. If we allowed our past mistakes to be the defining factor of our lives, we'd all be stuck. No one would move forward. Every step we took would be weighed down by the guilt of what we didn't get right. But that's not the way to live, is it? We don't have to let the past hold us back. It doesn't have to have a chokehold on our potential. We can rise above it. And the moment you realize that, the moment you decide that your past does not have the final say, you start to free yourself. It's important to understand that the past is not just made up of mistakes. It's also made up of achievements, of things you got right, of moments when you overcame, when you pushed through challenges and obstacles. But here's the thing: no matter what's in your past, it's behind you for a reason. It's time to move forward. This doesn't mean forgetting the lessons you learned. No, those lessons are invaluable. They are the foundation upon which you build the person you are becoming. What I'm saying is, you don't have to live in the past. You don't have to let what happened yesterday dictate what happens today. The truth is, you have more control over your future than you think. You are not a prisoner of your past unless you allow it. And that's the message I want you to take away from this: you are not your past. Your past can shape who you are, but it doesn't have to limit who you can become. You have the power to shape your future. And it starts with the decision to no longer let your past hold you captive. If you want to rise above, you need to let go of the chains that are tied to yesterday. Embrace the lessons, yes, but let go of the baggage. Remember this: the past doesn't have to be your anchor. You are not defined by what you've done, by who you used to be. You are defined by what you choose to do now, by the actions you take today, by the mindset you adopt moving forward. The power to change your life, to turn the page, to create a new chapter is in your hands. So don't let the past rob you of your future. The best is yet to come. Regret is one of the most powerful forces that can weigh us down. And it's something that every single one of us has experienced at some point. It's that feeling, that nagging voice in the back of your mind that tells you, if only I had done this differently. If only I had made another choice. It's that constant replaying of the moments when we didn't get it right, when we failed or fell short of our own expectations. But here's the harsh truth about regret: it is a thief. It steals your peace, it robs you of your potential, and it keeps you looking backward, never allowing you to move forward. You see, regret has a way of keeping us trapped in the past. It convinces us that the things we've done, the mistakes we've made, will always be a part of us in a way that limits our growth. But here's the reality: regret is a choice. It is a decision to carry the weight of something that no longer serves you. We all make choices, and sometimes those choices don't turn out the way we hoped. But guess what? Regret won't change a single thing about the past. It can't undo what's been done. It can't fix what went wrong. The only thing regret can do is keep you stuck in a cycle of self-blame and self-doubt. We need to realize that holding on to regret is like trying to walk forward while constantly looking over your shoulder. You can't fully engage in what's ahead if you're constantly thinking about what you could have done better. Sure, mistakes and poor decisions can sting, but staying in the sting, lingering in the pain of what could have been, only ensures that you remain stuck. The real question is, how long are you willing to allow regret to control your life? How much longer will you let it steal your peace, your joy, your potential? The answer is in your hands. Letting go of regret isn't about forgetting the past or pretending that things didn't happen. It's about accepting that you did the best you could with what you knew at the time. None of us have the luxury of hindsight when we're making decisions. We can only act based on the information and experience we have in the moment. And when we look back, it's easy to say, I should have done this differently, but you weren't there yet. You didn't have the wisdom, the strength, or the perspective that you have now. And that's okay. Forgiving yourself is a big part of letting go of regret. It's about releasing the grip that those past mistakes have over you and saying, I did the best I could with the tools I had, and now I'm ready to move forward. You don't need to carry that burden any longer. The only thing regret accomplishes is holding you in a place where growth is impossible. And if you want to grow, if you want to step into the future with strength and confidence, you've got to let it go. Think about the things you've learned from those past decisions. Think about the lessons, the growth, the wisdom that's come from even the hardest experiences. Every mistake, every failure, every poor choice is an opportunity to learn. It's an opportunity to become a better version of yourself. But that opportunity is lost if you stay locked in the past, rehearsing the mistakes over and over again. The only way to move forward is to leave the regret behind. When you let go of regret, you also make room for something else: possibility. You free yourself from the emotional weight that's been holding you down, and you create space to embrace new opportunities, new challenges, and new experiences. You begin to see the world not through the lens of what if, but through the lens of what's next. You begin to trust that the future has something better in store for you. And you start to believe that you are capable of achieving great things regardless of the past. The reality is, you can't change what's behind you, but you can change how you move forward. You can decide that regret will no longer dictate your life. You have the power to decide that today is the day you break free from the chains of the past. Let the mistakes of yesterday be the lessons of today, and let them propel you into the future. Stop allowing your past to control your present. Let go of the regret. It has no place in the future you are about to create. So take a deep breath, let go, and start walking toward the future with your head held high, your heart free of regret, and your mind focused on the possibilities ahead. You've got this. Forgiveness is one of the most powerful and liberating actions you can take in life. It's not just about letting someone else off the hook, it's about freeing yourself from the emotional chains that hold you back. And it's not always easy. In fact, forgiveness can be one of the hardest things to do, especially when the hurt runs deep, when the wounds are fresh, or when the wrong feels so personal. But here's the truth: holding on to anger, resentment, and bitterness will only keep you tied to the past. It doesn't hurt the other person, it hurts you. It keeps you trapped in a cycle of pain, preventing you from moving forward. Let me be clear: forgiving someone does not mean you condone their actions, nor does it mean you have to continue to allow them in your life. Forgiveness is not about making everything okay again. It's about letting go of the hold that the hurt has over you. It's about choosing to stop letting the actions of someone else determine how you feel and how you live. When you hold on to anger and resentment, you are allowing that person or situation to continue to control your emotional state. You are allowing them to dictate your peace, your happiness, and your future. But forgiveness? Forgiveness is a way of saying, I'm not going to allow this person, this experience, to have any more power over me. Forgiveness is not for the other person. It's for you. It's about giving yourself the peace that you deserve, the freedom to move forward without the weight of the past bearing down on you. I know that some of you might be thinking, but you don't know what they did to me. You don't know how badly I was hurt, and I'm not here to dismiss your pain. I'm not here to tell you that it wasn't wrong or that it didn't matter. It did matter, and it hurt. But here's the reality: you are the one who gets to decide how much power that pain holds over your life. You are the one who gets to choose whether you let it control your future. Now, I'm not saying forgiveness is instant. It's a process. It takes time. And sometimes you have to forgive more than once. You have to forgive the same person or the same situation over and over again as the pain resurfaces. It's not about forgetting what happened. You don't have to forget the hurt or pretend it didn't happen. But you can choose to release the bitterness and the anger that comes with it. You can choose to stop carrying around that weight, that burden that keeps you stuck. You can choose to put it down and walk away from it, free to move forward. Forgiveness also doesn't just apply to others. Forgiving yourself is just as important, if not more so. We all make mistakes. We all have things we wish we could change or do differently. Sometimes we hold on to guilt and self-blame, thinking that if we just punish ourselves enough, we'll somehow make things right. But that's a lie. Holding on to self-resentment only keeps you in the past, keeps you from fully embracing the person you are today. You are not the sum of your mistakes, and you don't have to keep carrying the weight of your past actions. Forgiveness is a way of saying, I did the best I could with the knowledge and resources I had at the time, and I am worthy of moving forward. It's about releasing yourself from the burden of guilt and opening up space for growth, healing, and change. Forgiveness gives you the strength to move forward. It frees up the emotional energy that's been consumed by past hurts, allowing you to focus on the present and the future. When you forgive, you create space for joy, for peace, for hope. You open yourself up to new possibilities, to new relationships, to new experiences. You allow your heart to heal and to love again without the scars of the past holding it back. But forgiveness doesn't mean everything will be easy. It doesn't mean the pain of the past will go away overnight. But it does mean that you are no longer allowing that pain to control you. You are no longer allowing it to define who you are and what your future will be. When you choose forgiveness, you take back your power. You stop letting the actions of others dictate how you live your life. You free yourself to become the best version of who you were always meant to be. And that's what I want for you. I want you to experience the freedom that comes from forgiveness. I want you to let go of the chains that bind you to your past, whether that's forgiving someone else or forgiving yourself. You deserve peace. You deserve freedom. You deserve a life where the weight of anger and hurt doesn't drag you down. Let it go. Forgive. And step into the future with a heart that is open, a spirit that is free, and a life that is full of possibility. Taking responsibility for your life is one of the most empowering things you can do. It's easy to point fingers when things go wrong, to look at circumstances, people, or situations and say, this is why I didn't succeed. This is why things turned out the way they did. But here's the truth: your life, your choices, and your future are in your hands. Yes, life throws challenges at us. Yes, sometimes circumstances are beyond our control. But how we respond, how we move forward, how we handle the bumps in the road, that is entirely up to us. You are responsible for your own destiny. When you take responsibility, you stop blaming the world, the people around you, or even in your past for where you are today. Instead, you take control of the present moment. It's about saying, I may not have been able to control everything that's happened to me, but I can control what happens next. Taking responsibility means understanding that your actions, your decisions, and your mindset all contribute to the life you create. No one else is responsible for your happiness, your success, or your failures. You are the creator of your own path. This doesn't mean that you have to have all the answers or that you have to have it all figured out. It's not about perfection, it's about accountability. When you accept responsibility, you free yourself from the victim mindset, the belief that life is happening to you and that you have no power to change things. The truth is, you have the power to change your circumstances. You have the power to take small steps, make intentional decisions, and change the direction of your life. It's not about being perfect, it's about being intentional. Taking responsibility also means acknowledging that you are the one who is in control of how you respond to situations. Life is full of challenges, and it's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that life is happening to you rather than for you. But the reality is, challenges are opportunities for growth. When you take responsibility, you stop seeing obstacles as insurmountable problems and start seeing them as opportunities to learn, adapt, and improve. How you respond to hardship can shape your character and determine the outcome of your life. It's important to remember that taking responsibility also means learning from your mistakes. Nobody gets everything right all the time. We all stumble, we all fall. But if you're always looking to blame someone or something else, you'll never be able to learn the valuable lessons that come with failure. Mistakes are part of the process. They don't define you, but they can teach you. Every setback is an opportunity to ask yourself, what can I do differently? What did I learn from this? How can I grow from this experience? Taking responsibility means owning your mistakes, understanding that they don't determine your worth or your future, but they can serve as stepping stones to greater success. Another important aspect of taking responsibility is the ability to stop procrastinating. Often we avoid taking responsibility because it's uncomfortable or because we fear failure. We think we'll be ready at some point in the future, or we think the perfect circumstances will come along. But that's just an excuse. There is no perfect time. If you keep waiting for everything to line up, you'll be waiting forever. Taking responsibility means stepping up and taking action, even when you don't have everything figured out. It means saying, I may not have all the answers, but I'm going to take the first step anyway. And once you take that step, you'll find the next one and the next. It's a process, and you don't have to have it all figured out at the start, but you do have to start. When you embrace responsibility, you also start to embrace your own power. You stop seeing yourself as a passive observer in your own life, and instead you step into the role of an active participant. You are the one who decides what your future will look like. The actions you take today, the choices you make, the mindset you adopt, these things will determine where you end up tomorrow. And when you realize that your future is shaped by your decisions, you begin to take ownership of your life in a way that is both empowering and liberating. Taking responsibility also means being honest with yourself. It means acknowledging the areas of your life where you may be falling short or where you've made mistakes, but without beating yourself up. It's about being real, being honest, and taking the necessary steps to make things right. And when you do that, you'll notice that your confidence and your sense of self-worth begin to grow. Because the more you take responsibility, the more you take control. And the more you take control, the more you realize just how much power you have to change your life. So stop waiting for things to change on their own. Take responsibility for your actions, your choices, and your future. You have the power to create the life you want. It all starts with you. Own it, and the world will open up to you in ways you never imagined. You've got everything you need to succeed. Now go make it happen. One of the most crucial things you can do when it comes to freeing yourself from the past is to stop being afraid to let go. Fear has a way of keeping us trapped in situations, relationships, and mindsets that no longer serve us. Fear tells you, what if I make the wrong decision? What if I let go and things get worse? What if the unknown is scarier than the pain I know? But here's the reality: staying stuck in the past, staying in what you know, will never bring you the freedom and growth that you're capable of achieving. Letting go is not about giving up. It's about releasing the hold that fear, regret, and past experiences have over your life. And it's one of the most liberating steps you can take. You may have experienced things in your past that have left deep scars, whether they're failures, losses, betrayals, or any number of painful situations. And that pain is real. It's not something to be dismissed or overlooked. But here's the hard truth: holding on to that pain only keeps you in chains. The past may have shaped who you are, but it doesn't have to limit who you can become. Letting go means recognizing that the past is behind you, and while it has influenced your present, it doesn't have to dictate your future. Fear of the unknown can keep you from making decisions that will push you forward. It can make you feel like you're walking on a tightrope, constantly worried that one wrong move will send you tumbling into failure. But the reality is that fear of the unknown is often greater than the fear of the consequences of staying stuck. You think, what if I let go and things fall apart? But let me ask you this: what if you let go and things get better? What if you find the strength to rise above your circumstances, to create something greater than you ever imagined? The thing about letting go is that it's not just about releasing what's holding you back. It's about creating space for something better. When you let go of the fear, the regret, the pain, the self-doubt, you open yourself up to new possibilities. You make room for new experiences, new relationships, new successes. But you can't make room for the new if you're still clinging to the old. You can't move forward if you're holding on to the weight of what's behind you. This doesn't mean that letting go is easy. In fact, it may be one of the hardest things you do, but it's also one of the most necessary. You have to come to terms with the fact that some things, some people, and some experiences just aren't meant to be in your life anymore. You have to recognize that letting go isn't a sign of weakness, it's a sign of strength. It's a sign that you are choosing to put your energy, your time, and your efforts into the things that truly matter: your future, your growth, your potential. And yes, letting go can be scary. The uncertainty can be overwhelming. But remember, you will never grow in your comfort zone. Growth requires risk. Growth requires stepping into the unknown with courage, even when you're not sure of what lies ahead. When you hold on to what no longer serves you, whether it's a job that drains you, a relationship that hurts you, or a mindset that limits you, you're essentially holding yourself back from the life you could have. You're choosing to stay in a place of comfort and safety, but not fulfillment. Comfort doesn't lead to growth. It doesn't lead to transformation. If you want to see change in your life, you have to be willing to let go of what holds you back. Letting go also means forgiving. It means not only forgiving others, but forgiving yourself. We can be our own harshest critics, holding ourselves accountable for things we did or didn't do in the past. And sometimes it's not the people around us who need to be forgiven, it's us. But when we refuse to forgive ourselves, we continue to carry the weight of guilt, shame, and regret. Letting go means accepting that you did the best you could with the knowledge and resources you had at the time. You cannot change the past, but you can change how you carry it. The moment you choose to let go, you take back your power. You take back your energy. You stop allowing the past to drain you, and you start focusing on what lies ahead. And that shift, that change in perspective, is everything. It gives you the freedom to dream bigger, to try new things, to step into the unknown without fear of what might happen. It gives you the courage to take risks, to push through obstacles, to break down barriers. Because you know that no matter what, you are capable of overcoming whatever challenges lie ahead. So stop holding on to what's holding you back. Stop letting fear, regret, and past experiences dictate the life you're meant to live. Let go. Embrace the freedom that comes with it, and open yourself up to the limitless possibilities that are waiting for you on the other side. Your best days are ahead of you, but you'll never reach them if you're stuck in the past. Take that leap of faith. Let go and watch as your future unfolds before you in ways you never thought possible.